Hi all, welcome to Tweeter's Tech. Today we're going to do the third part video on the Vline 2 from GROM Audio. You've seen in my recent videos that I've had this since April last year, 2019. And, I wanted to have an Android infotainment type system on my Lexus IS 250. It's the Mark II model 56 plate. This particular model, if I take a look out, this comes with the Mark Levinson Navi system. I think it's a 7-inch screen display, and if you can see on my glove compartment, there's where the Vline is installed. So it's like a mini Android PC basically. Now, since my last video, I've actually had 4 replacement units for various issues, and it wasn't easy getting replaced. I really had to fight my corner to get units replaced. It's been a combination of connection issues, dodgy wiring, and it's frustrating because I really believed in this product. I really wanted it to work, and when it works so well, considering it's using technology from 2007, 2006. Well, look now, and the interface works absolutely fine, but I had to disconnect these wires just before this video, just for this display to come on. Up until then, I had the static lines, and at some point today, whether it's just me parking in reverse, going into reverse, or putting it in neutral, or putting it into drive, it's going to cause a problem, and I'll lose that signal, and it happens every time. I appreciate you can't see that now, and it looks absolutely fine. If I click on any of these applications, they're going to work just fine. Like, I'll click on Spotify, no issues there right now. But at some point today, I guarantee you, it will go to this static line thing that we saw in my previous video a few months ago. And it's frustrating because these apps are really useful to use. A Google Assistant, Google Maps, as you can see up here, I've got my GPS antenna. So the concept around it really works, and I'd like to think that people out there have probably had better luck than I have, but this was installed by professionals. All the guidance has been followed on the instructions provided, and for some reason, I still have issues on the unit itself, on the memory card slot. That's not reading any of my memory cards. I used to have one in there that had all my media, all my MP3s and MP4s. That's not reading it anymore. I tried putting a different memory card in there. I did one on exFAT and on FAT32, which is apparently what you need it formatted in, and it got trapped. It actually fell down the SD card slot. So that's faulty equipment, and maybe I'm just unlucky, but this is the 4th unit I've had. You got to ask yourself, at what point are you willing to sort of compromise? I think the frustrating thing for me is that, potentially this is such a good thing to have in a car for someone that commutes quite a bit, drives quite a lot. You've got YouTube as well. That works great. Let's try that again, shall we? These videos work and they're great for passengers. I can still use third-party applications like PRG that allows me to play emulators with a Bluetooth controller. It's great to keep the kids company, Minecraft, and any app works pretty much. I had Call of Duty Mobile on this at one point and it was working, but the signal, the wiring, the hardware, I don't know what's wrong with this unit. This will disappear at some point today, and for that reason I can't recommend anyone to buy this. There's not many alternatives for this car, so you're stuck with those kind of Tesla type stereos, but they look crazy. They're really over the top and they don't really fit well with this car. I wouldn't really recommend those. And this seems to be the only thing out there, but it's just too much of a gamble. And I think maybe people in the US probably have better luck than I do, because the technical support is only available in the US. They don't have a UK branch. That caused real barriers for me, and I didn't really have the best of experience with GROM Audio, which is another reason I'd say stay away. I don't know if this will get resolved eventually, but this is the 2nd version of Vline. You can imagine with the original Vline there'd be several issues because it's the first of its kind, but with Vline 2 I expected more consistency. There are a lot of updates, and this does look better. If this was working, I would stick with the stock launcher. I wouldn't really bother with a third-party launcher anymore. The widgets are still pretty good, but I know at some point that's going to disappear because I'm not sure why. If the wiring, the hardware, it's not it's not consistent, and I can't be asked to disconnect my wires every day just so I can get this interface popping up, just so I can see if my apps are going to work. And for that reason, I can't recommend anyone to buy this. I do hope other people have better luck with this system, but I will be returning this on Monday and finding an alternative. Stay tuned to my next video. Hopefully I'll have a better idea as to what I'm going to be using in terms of streaming my apps, but I think I'll just refer back to using my phone for Google Maps and my media, and I just need to find an alternative aftermarket device. Stay tuned anyway. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.